Welcome to another episode of Public Opinion Tea Time with your host, Pam and Vanetta. Now, Public Opinion Tea Time is when we get together and just talk about either what everybody is talking about, or we just talk about what we think is a fun thing or a good topic to talk about. So this week, we are going to be talking about female relationships and how sometimes women can be kind of petty, even as they get older. And Vanetta has just returned not too long ago from her college reunion.
Yes, my college homecoming.
Her college homecoming. And so when she got back, she was reflecting upon that time.
Reflecting, yes.
It's kind of reflecting upon times, that she had when she was back in college, and then some of the people and relationships that she met. And so what you kind of were reflecting about, Vanetta, was sometimes how people hold on to kind of petty grudges and things.
I know people would find it hard to believe that I've been out of college nearly 40 years.
Yes.
And I had someone come up to me about a 40-year-old grudge that they had. And it was, as women, as always, it was related to a guy.
Wonder why.
And neither one of us ended up with the guy. It was this girl's boyfriend. He was cheating on her with me. There's no other way to say it. I was a side chick. I didn't know I was a side chick, but that's all I was. But what is absolutely true is when I found out he had a girlfriend, I had nothing more to do with him. And the reality is, how I found out is that he came to pick me up in her car to give me a ride somewhere. Now, was he a low down dirty dog?
But that's kind of how immature men used to, would act.
Just
back in college.
Back in college, correct. Right. And then, this woman she worked very hard to keep me out of the sorority. I had put all that aside. She called me all kind of unkind names. It just demeaned me. But at the end of the day, I am a member of the sorority, okay? And I had put that, like I said, behind me. Now, what I hadn't evolved enough to speak to her over the 40 years and had never an intention to speak. And she came up to me this year and was like, you have a problem with me? I said, and my response was, I don't have a problem with you. I don't even speak to you. And she was like, well, I'm the kind of woman. And what I wanted to say, you're the kind of woman who are stuck in 40 years ago. That's what you're the kind of woman. I am so much past you. I have not thought about you other than on the occasions when my children, I have 3 little boys, when they used to watch Sesame Street, she looked like one of the characters on the show. I did think about her on occasion, but that was outside of that. I never thought of her. Okay. And she just approached me in a kind of menacing fashion. She's quite tall, and she towered over me. And I don't know what her expectation was in approaching me. I thought possibly I was experiencing or seeing her experience a medical emergency. Like, was her eyes moving back and forth rapidly? Was she sweating profusely? I didn't know what I was supposed to do. And so my whole thing is, I just realized is that she is stuck. 40 years.
A lot of people get stuck for various reasons, I think. I don't know what it is. It could be just emotional immaturity, or it could just be that sometimes if things have gone on so unresolved, it's lingered in people's psyche. And whereas you may have moved on, other people, have a harder time moving on. But I do think that as women, especially, we have to try to find a way to get along. And I think that's important. Either get along or at least be civil,
just coexist.
Just to peacefully coexist. And that's an interesting observation, though, to have, especially when you see people after a long period of time. I think that's an interesting thing to do, is to revisit how people are. Like, sometimes I'll see people that I hadn't seen in like years and years, and I'm like, oh, they look the same, or oh, they look different, or oh, they still have the same personality, or whatever.
Yeah, they're quite a bit the same.
But right, yes.
But this person, where my issue was, she had that revisionist history. You know, she demeaned me. She spoke terribly to me. And she spoke like it was all in the context of pledging, and it was not. It was personal.
Yeah.
Okay. But I know this trauma affects people differently. She was the antagonist. I was a victim. And so I remember it totally different than probably she does.
Yeah.
You know,
She probably
and
looked at
my
it from a
perspective,
different
but what I didn't realize is that I had just kind of pushed that down and thought I was past it. But when she brought it to me, it kind of flooded back, and my resentment was right there present again. And I don't want to be in that place.
Yes.
I really don't. I pity someone who's so sad they cannot move on. And when I look back on it, that's what I should have said to her, is like, there's something so seriously wrong with you. And
well, I don't think that would have been the right thing. No, you know what? Always the best approach is to always be the better person and always to pray for people now. I truly believe that, especially when people have done us wrong. That's when you really have to pray for somebody. You don't go on the attack. What you do
I
is
did not attack.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. And I think from what you told me, I think you presented yourself in a very good way. And that's the way
I did what I thought to be right.
Yeah,
and I know I represented something beyond myself. I have a husband, a trustee of the university. I have a son, a recent graduate, and myself, an alumni. And just at the end of the day, I don't want to be lumped in a category with someone so petty. But it just was a reflection of what I said. Some people just age, but they don't grow up.
Yeah.
And that's where she was. And I just,
and so once again, I'm going to tell you this, you just pray for her. That's what you do.
I have yet to say that I'm going to do that.
I know,
but what I am going
that's
to do.
That's why I'm saying that again. You have to pray for her. And you know that she will.
Here's what I pray. That she don't come up to me again. That's what I pray. Because I was a woman and I was respectful. But I pray that she don't ever make this challenge again.
Okay. Well, you know what? And if she does, then what you're going to do is do the same thing. You are going to continue to be the better person. And when it's all said and done, you will just continue to pray for her and pray for yourself as well, that you can continue to react to her in a manner that is not at the same level that she has approached you. And that's
Thank you for that very solid advice. I appreciate that. And that will keep me out of the legal system.
Yes, it will. And it will keep you from getting arrested.
And God will have mercy on my soul.
Yes, he will have very much mercy on your soul. So I have enjoyed this conversation with Renata about petty grudges and being able to grow and evolve. So if you enjoy watching us, continue to follow us. Also, if you can't watch us, listen on the go wherever you get your podcast. So next time we'll see you for another episode of Public Opinion Tea Time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.